It finally happened. After 30 chapters, the Blackbeard Pirates have been confirmed to be here on Egghead Island this entire time. So, I'm just going to make an assumption and say that you guys have already read the spoilers for 1107. If you haven't, you can just go out there and check them out yourself, because today I just want to talk about what these two cats might have just pulled off. So in this chapter, Saint Saturn gets blown away so hard by Luffy that he runs into Katarina Devon and Van Augur, which is pretty funny when you think about it. Like, Saturn is straight up a punching bag, right? Like, a couple chapters ago, we had Frankie, we had Kuma, we had Sanji. Like, people are just beating Saturn left and right. And this chapter, Luffy joins in on the fun. Saturn gets blown away so hard that he just so happens to run into two characters that we have been waiting for a long time now. Katarina Devon and Van Augur. It turns out that Saint Saturn knows a little bit about what Blackbeard is plotting on the side. Saturn goes in to attack both of them before they can escape, but Van Augur is just that fast, and he ends up teleporting away before Saturn can land his blow. Another Saint Saturn L. You know, people are saying wait for the Saint Saturn W's, you know, don't sleep on Saint Saturn, but let me tell you, dude, Saint Saturn, it's not looking too good for the man, right? His only real blow on anyone was on Vegapunk, a guy that straight up can't even fight, right? So yeah, Van Augur, Devon, they teleport away, and that is when they say that they have actually completed their mission here on Egghead Island already, and that they are about to go back to their base. And that right there is the main topic of this video. What were Katarina Devon and Van Augur doing here on Egghead Island in the first place, and what was their mission? Because we have no clue based off of the spoilers of this chapter. Before this chapter got spoiled, I was under the assumption that the Blackbeard Pirates were after the researchers that left Egghead Island. Turns out that's not the case, right? Because the Giants are the ones who stepped in and saved the day. Of course, the researchers could still be kidnapped, but I mean, if Van Augur and Katarina Devon are here on the island and not out at sea with them, I'm gonna assume that they actually did escape safely. So now, what could Van Augur and Katarina Devon be here on this island for? I feel like something a lot of people are going to bring up is Robin. Time and time again, throughout the story of One Piece, almost every single arc, people have mentioned how important Robin is because she can read the poneglyphs. Blackbeard just got multiple road poneglyphs off of Law. He's going to need to read them somehow, so why not kidnap Robin? I feel like that makes a lot of sense, but personally, I don't feel like he needs Robin anymore because he did kidnap Pudding. Right? Pudding has her third eye. When that third eye awakens, she can also read the poneglyphs. Maybe Blackbeard wants Robin and Pudding so that, you know, no matter what, he can't fail. And I feel like that's very fair. But I do think he's just going to go the Pudding route and that he probably would not want to mess with the Straw Hat Pirates as it is right now. So, Robin aside, what else could Katarina Devon and Van Augur want here on Egghead Island? I think that they could be after the Mother Flame, the weapon that Vegapunk, or the energy source that Vegapunk has created. My only problem with the Mother Flame route would be, how would Blackbeard even know about the Mother Flame in the first place, since it kind of is like a government cover-up, right? Leloucia never existed. I doubt they actually posted that they used a weapon on Leloucia, so I'm not too sure how Blackbeard would be able to piece that puzzle together. But Blackbeard is a very smart character. I feel like all of the Yonkos and their intel networks are very advanced, so if Blackbeard does know about the Mother Flame, I do feel like that is something he would be interested in. And it does tie in with what we see later in this chapter, and that is that Caribou wants to go with Van Augur and Katarina Devon. So when you really think about it, Caribou knows about Shirahoshi, he knows about Pluton, all they're missing is Uranus. If the Mother Flame is, you know, mimicking some Uranus ancient weapon powers, then theoretically, Blackbeard could have the Mother Flame, Shirahoshi, and Pluton. He would have all three ancient weapons, technically. So I do feel like the Mother Flame is a pretty decent guess as to what Van Augur and Katarina Devon are here for. I'm not too sure how they would actually steal the Mother Flame, since it sounds like it's a giant, you know, energy plant, but Van Augur does have a teleportation devil fruit, so, you know, anything is really possible. Maybe he puts his hand on the building teleports onto their ship, and they just leave. You know, Van Augur's kind of busted, right? Van Augur is faster than Saint Saturn even. I mean, Van Augur is absolutely nuts. You know, in line with episode 1093, where Van Augur is one-shotting Biscuit soldiers. Yeah, no, maybe Toei was right to gas this guy up. But yeah, moving on. Another thing that the Blackbeard Pirates could have been here to steal would be the Seraphim. I feel like that is also another viable route because Blackbeard himself saw the Seraphim in action. He saw how strong the Mihawk Seraphim was. He also witnessed the power of the Boa Hancock Seraphim, so maybe he wants to steal them for himself. And hey, as it stands right now, the Seraphim are alone in a room with Cypher Pole agents. None of the Straw Hats are nearby to help the Seraphim. So yeah, Van Augur, Cattery Devon could simply go in the room, teleport the Seraphim onto their ship, teleport the Cypher Pole agents, because obviously Blackbeard loves the slave trade, so, you know, he would steal the Cypher Pole agents as well, and then he would walk away with a high boost in military power. My main problem with Blackbeard stealing the Seraphim would be the fact that Blackbeard does not have a hierarchy chip, and the Seraphim would not listen to Blackbeard whatsoever. Maybe Blackbeard uses Garp, maybe Garp has a hierarchy chip, and that's how he gets them under his control, but I'm not really too sure how that would go, right? I don't think Garp would be like, hey, Seraphim, help Blackbeard, right? So yeah, I don't think the Seraphim would be too helpful on that front unless he has a backup plan. Something else that Blackbeard could steal, and something that I would think is amazing, would be green blood. All right, so I don't know how many of you guys watch The Boys on Amazon Prime, but The Boys have this superhuman serum, and it's just like the green blood from One Piece, where you inject it in your body and you get powers for a short amount of time. Yo, Blackbeard pirates, they're all about devil fruits, right? Blackbeard has 2 devil fruits, you know, Van Augur, the whole crew, they have the devil fruit. Maybe they want to boost their devil fruit repertoire by obtaining green blood for themselves. Maybe they start juicing their own bodies. That's how Van Augur will get 2 devil fruits. Maybe, you know, everyone on the crew can get 2 devil fruits if they use that green blood. Maybe they'll start giving it to their subordinates, because that's something we saw that Kaido wanted to do, right? That's why he had Smile devil fruits. That was his way of leveling up his fodder soldiers. Blackbeard could be doing the same thing. We could have an army of people with the Mero no Mi. We could have an army of people with the Supa no Mi, which is the blade fruit, or the dice fruit. Yeah, I think Blackbeard could get a lot of utilization out of that green blood. The main problem is that we don't know how the green blood will affect people who already have a devil fruit, and we also don't know if humans can use green blood as well, right? Because the Seraphim, they're robots, so them using green blood makes a lot of sense. It doesn't really matter too much, but as far as the human effect goes, that one is kind of a coin toss. But yeah, green blood would be massive for Blackbeard. Another thing that the Blackbeard pirates could possibly steal off of this island would be the satellites, because they do have some of the knowledge that Vegapunk has. So if Blackbeard were to kidnap one of the satellites, he could theoretically have them make him the Mother Flame or green blood. You know, a satellite as your hostage could actually be really beneficial, right? It's like hiring a scientist by pointing a gun at their head. Yeah, I think a satellite could be really useful here. Maybe he kidnapped Edison. It could even be York. Maybe he got Shaka's corpse. Maybe even Lilith. I'm not too sure, but I do feel like the satellite route is a lot harder than the other options because the Straw Hats are nearby all of the satellites, right? Edison was last seen with Usopp and Nami and Robin. York was in the same room as them as well. Lilith is with Brook. So I feel like if they did kidnap a satellite, we would probably see a scene of that. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe Oda will just, you know, backtrack on that one and we'll see the events of it later. But, you know, that's just speculation. That's just speculation. So that right there is where I'm currently at with the Blackbeard pirates. The last thing I do want to talk about is, of course, Caribou, because Caribou wants to go and meet Blackbeard. And honestly, I feel like they're going to take him to Blackbeard, right? There's no reason to say no to Caribou. He is very weak. You know, if he ends up betraying them, Devon can probably beat him. Van Augur can probably beat him. You know, like, Caribou is not really a threat to Blackbeard by any means, so if Caribou does have something to offer to Blackbeard, then I don't see why they wouldn't bring him to Hachinosu. The thing with Caribou that I do think is a little bit odd, which of course these are just spoilers, so things could get clarified as the days go on, but Caribou back in Fishman Island and even Wano mentioned that he was already working for somebody else. He has referenced that man multiple times. It looks like he hasn't been working for Blackbeard, so that route is cut off for now. If it's not Blackbeard, who is Caribou working for? Is it Crocodile? Is it the world government? We don't really have any idea. Maybe he was talking about Blackbeard the entire time, but he just never was aligned with them yet. Maybe this is him actually going up to Blackbeard and saying, hey, I want you to be that man. There's a couple of routes Oda could go with this, but at the end of the day, Caribou is a very important character, whether we like it or not. He knows about Shirahoshi, he knows about Pluton, and let me tell you, the minute he tells Blackbeard about those two things, Blackbeard's gonna go after it. Blackbeard can easily go to Fishman Island, beat the Fishman brothers. I don't even know their names anymore. I think it's like Mamboshi, Fukaboshi, and Ryuboshi, I think. I think I butchered that. But yeah, he could go there. He could mop the floor with them. He could beat Neptune. And then he just takes Shirahoshi. Like, nobody's there to stop him. Really, nobody is. And then he could go to Wano. And this one is going to be a little bit more painful. But I could see Blackbeard going to Wano, using the Quake Fruit, and destroying the borders of Wano. The Quake Fruit can destroy the world. We've seen Blackbeard tear islands apart. Yeah, there's a good chance that he can destroy Wano, break down the borders, and steal Pluton. Like, I can see that. Momonosuke didn't want to open the borders because it was too soon, but what if somebody forces the borders open to steal their weapon? I think that'd be a great plot point, and it could bring Yamato, Momonosuke, and Kinemon back into the story. I mean, even though we just left them not too long ago. And the craziest part, because I know somebody's going to say it, they're like, hey, Sai, you know, Wano, Fishman Island, that's Luffy's territory. And I agree, you know, if Luffy were fighting Blackbeard, you know, this would be a different story. But then Ogre teleported from Winter's Island all the way here to Egghead Island in a day. I don't think Luffy can keep up with that. Like, Van Ogre's Devil Fruit is kind of broken. Like, this man can actually just teleport wherever he wants with whoever he wants. Yeah, I think the Blackbeard pirates can run loops around any pirate crew right now. Coming off of these spoilers, the one thing I'm curious about now, though, like, genuinely curious, is where is Lafitte? Right? Because, you know, coming into this chapter, people had a lot of guesses on who was actually here, and the majority of people settled down on it being Katarina Devon and Lafitte, because those are two characters we have not seen recently. Katarina Devon is here, but Lafitte isn't. I mean, I guess Lafitte could be here and we just don't see him. But yeah, Lafitte is MIA. Where could that man be? You know, maybe Lafitte's on his own mission, but if he is on his own mission, I'm even more scared now. Like, where could this guy be? Is he at Marine HQ? Is he at Impel Down? Maybe he's at Zoe? I don't know, dude. Lafitte is kind of a wild card. He's still in play. Oh man, yeah, what a crazy chapter. Apologies that we're not going over the full spoilers, but after going through 3 YouTube channels, I really just don't want to make a 4th. So I think this is what we're going to do from now on. I'll post the spoiler videos on the side somewhere else, and then as far as YouTube goes, I'll just focus on like one point of the spoilers and we'll just have a little conversation about it. But yeah, this chapter was absolutely phenomenal. I'll probably make more talking points here in a bit, and we'll upload those so you guys can get like a full experience through a multitude of videos. We'll see. I'm evolving as YouTube goes on, right? You know, I'm at YouTube's beck and call with this one. But hey, thank you guys so much for stopping by and checking out this video with me. Let me know what you think about the Blackbeard pirates here on Egghead Island. Are you excited? What do you think they stole? What do you think about Caribou? Are the Van Augur stocks up? Let me know down below, and I'll catch you guys later. Sai, signing out.